Hello and thank you for joining us. We are broadcasting from our WCTV studio in Wareham. I am Queen Banda. In today's program, we'll be speaking to the Wareham ROTC cadets. I have Bradley, Tyler, Corey, and Joel. Welcome, gentlemen. So may we please start the show by furthering introducing yourselves.
My name is Bradley Hronkowitz. I'm a first-year cadet at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst.
I'm Tyler Litchfield, first-year cadet at the University of Virginia.
I'm Corey Hronkowitz, and I'm a fourth-year cadet at Norwich University.
I'm Joel D'Olympia, active duty Navy, been in for 2 years.
Wonderful. Now, my first question is, why choose a military school?
So I chose, well, it's not really a military school, it's a public university. I just chose to do the ROTC program there because of my background in JROTC, and it's what I wanted to do.
Very similar for me as well. The University of Virginia is a public school in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The ROTC program there is phenomenal, and I applied to 7 schools and I got into 2, so that was the better of the 2 that I got into. So I ended up there, but I love it, and similar to what Brad said, it was something that I wanted to do and something I was passionate about.
So Norwich University, we are a military school. I'm within the Corps Cadets there, and I really loved JROTC when I was in high school, and I knew that I wanted to pursue the officer route, and I figured it would be the best place to do so, and I honestly do like the structure and discipline that it provides me.
And then I joined the Navy right out of high school, wanted to further my life and do something different.
Okay. So the background here is that you all were involved in an ROTC program while you were in high school, right? And you
Yes.
fell in love with it. Could you tell us about what about that program that you felt, okay, I love it and I want to further, be in this discipline?
So I was introduced because of my brother, and him being in the program before, I had a lot of insight on what it's about, and I met the instructors, Sergeant Hudson and Colonel Stanton, and I loved the instructors, I loved the structure of it, I loved how it gave you organization skills and life skills for the future.
Very similar for me. I don't have really that much family experience in the military, so that was kind of my first introduction to a military lifestyle. And the cadre at the high school are great, and it's a great program. And similar to what Brad said, it's a lot of very useful life skills, and even for people who don't end up doing the military option, you learn a lot of great stuff.
So the JROTC is unique in the fact that, yes, you learn about leadership, but it's also an application of leadership. And being in high school, you're 14 through 18 years old, and you get to actually apply leadership, you get to work with other people, you get to go out in the community and act and do things. It's empowering, and you learn a lot. There's not a lot of opportunities like that in high school, and JROTC afforded an opportunity to do so.
As a JROTC, I liked it because of the structure, almost like a family, and then there's discipline. I just liked everything about it.
So you're always seeking discipline. It seems like you got it. I love the postures. That was the first thing I noticed.
Thank you.
What are the skills they have taught you that you're still using today?
Well, I learned leadership skills, how to be organized, and time management was a big one with sports and ROTC together.
For me, a lot of the technical skills that I learned as far as how to wear the uniform, how to address people, how to march correctly. When it came to starting my ROTC career in college, it was a lot easier to transition because I already had a solid foundation where most of my peers didn't. So it really helped on a technical aspect.
It was definitely the people skills and the organizational skills kind of hitchhiking off of that, but like you get opportunities to run meetings and you're actually doing off of training calendars, and given it's through a military medium, it's a good application of what you learn and you get to apply it.
Yeah, I've learned a lot through JROTC of what I can apply to the real military, drill, a lot of stuff like that.
You love drills?
Yeah, I love drill.
Wow. That's unique. So, gentlemen, you're in college, and you mentioned it's a regular college, especially, Bradley and Tyler, you're in a regular college, however, you are in the ROTC program in college.
Yes.
How do you manage the two, and how does your college life look like?
My college life is very busy. Every 2 weekends we go out for training with ROTC, and then once a week we have ROTC class where we just learn whatever the curriculum is for that point. And then on top of me being in track, it's very hectic and busy, but ROTC helps me manage it with the time management skills it taught me.
I'd say, I'm not in track or anything like that, but I'd say pretty similar. I don't find that it's necessarily that hard to balance the two. I'd say that the ROTC program understands that we're students and is respectful of that while also giving us an in-depth education in military science. I found that it's never tedious or anything like that. It's once a week, so we have our morning PTs and we have our class time and then we have our lab time, which is our application of the class. So it really doesn't end up taking all that much time, and it kind of gives an inspiration to work out by yourself and work out with friends and have a strong friend group. And so yeah, that's most of my college life. It's a lot of working out and ROTC and friends and studying.
So my school we're pretty rigid with times we have to do everything. There's scheduling from 5:30 in the morning until 10 at night, and then if you need a little bit extra time, you can go a bit later. But you don't really have a choice but to juggle the time. You're told, cool, these hours are dinner time. We have mandatory study hall from 7:30 to 9:30 every night, and it definitely helps out, and you get more freedom as you go along. But you don't have a choice but to be organized and manage things.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is very refreshing to hear from such young gentlemen such as yourselves, because most young people your age, they wouldn't want to be stuck in such a position, being told what to do and have a strict schedule. You figured going to college, freedom from your parents, you get to be free, but...
You do get freedom from your parents, but...
Okay, okay. But you get another set of family and parents to watch over you.
Correct.
More or
yes.
less.
Mm-hmm.
Any experiences that you'd like to share?
And I've been around the world. Been to Peru, Vietnam, Guam. I've been to Hawaii 4 times.
Oh my goodness.
But
not for vacation.
Not for vacation.
So what did you do there?
I mean, when we go out into town, we have those days to do what we want, go out and experience like the lives of them. I like to learn a lot about different cultures. It's really cool doing that.
So did you find yourself like, okay, you are in Hawaii, did you find yourself having fun still, even though you were there for a specific purpose?
I loved Hawaii. The last time I was in Hawaii, we were there for 2 weeks.
So the food is different, people different, music different, you were just having the time of your life. Very nice. So I'm curious to hear about stories. Stories of your experiences. I know you bragged about going to Hawaii 4 times. I haven't been even once. Maybe I should join. Because tickets to Hawaii are very expensive. But share with me stories, please.
So I have a funny story that occurred this semester. It was our last weekend out doing training, and we were doing night land navigation. And we're in a forest, we're in dense woods. It's 3 a.m., moonlight isn't there, so it's very dark. There was a bear spotting the day before, which it's known. We're on a place called Bear Hill, so there's obviously bears there. But they deemed it safe to be there, and so we went out. I'm with a group I have me and another person, and we come along another group. He blows a whistle, which means that there's a bear around. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, where's the bear? And he runs away from me, thinking I'm the bear. Now, me being 6'4", I'm standing on a log looking for my point. I can see how it looks like a bear.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't have anything that good, but I guess one kind of interesting story is, so I did the Ranger Challenge, which is like ROTC's varsity sport. And so the way that it works is that the team captains can pick 2 people that are guaranteed to do the event, and the other 3 are chosen randomly. So the way that our ROTC programs are structured, we don't really get a lot of time, hands-on time with weapons. So in preparation for the event, the team captain was like, okay, we're just going to have to hope we get lucky and hope that the people who go up have had shooting experience. So the 2 people that were picked beforehand were the team captain and our cadet battalion commander. So they had had experience. So the other 3 people that were randomly chosen were all 3 first years who had never shot a rifle of that caliber before. Like, it was like, what are the chances? Like, all 3 first years, the only first years on the team. And all 3 of us had to do the rifle range. But we all passed, so it was good.
Oh my gosh.
It's not too bad. My school's weird, so a lot of things I find funny are like, it's kind of separated, but freshman year, you're in a disciplined, rigid environment, almost to the T. And we have senior cadets appointed over us to train us and guide us through. And towards the beginning, they act a little bit more like drill sergeants than mentors and the teachers. So one of them was a Chinese citizen, and he was there on a student visa. Given that his English wasn't really the best, and he's trying to communicate vigorously with us to do certain things, and we're uptight, we're at attention, we're trying to follow his orders, and he's sitting there, he's screaming at us, and we're just kind of like, yes, yes, no, yes, no, and we have no idea what he's trying to say. Eventually, another senior cadet comes over and is like, okay, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? And we just kind of look at him, and we're like, please help us. Turns out all he wanted us to do was turn around.
And you guys just kept saying yes, no, yes, no.
Took 5 to 10 minutes to communicate this. took a solid 5 to 10 minutes, and poor us, we were just confused. So we ended up turning around. We were just staring at a wall for like 5 more minutes. We had no idea why. But
okay. A lesson in communications there.
Yep, a little bit. And then I've spoken to him since, and since he's actually joined the French Foreign Legion, so now he's learned a 3rd language, and the English barrier's just gotten even worse. Absolutely love it, though.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to share?
So when we were out in off the coast of Vietnam, we left because of heavy weather, and so we had the carrier with us, and so we had the Liberty boats coming from our pier to where they were anchored out, and so they deemed it not safe for them to be moving from there to their ship. So we had approximately 250 sailors, extra sailors on our ship, and a little ship.
Oh, okay.
A CG.
It was very crowded in there.
Yeah, and then we were hitting like 30-foot swells, and everyone was just in the hallways, and they were just everywhere.
All right, gentlemen. So I love your experiences are very different, and I could actually see why you chose the path you chose. I recognize that the uniforms are very different, and I'm curious to see or to learn what you'll be learning versus what Tyler will be learning versus what Bradley will be learning. Do you know, like, your program being chosen to be in the Army, is there specific classes that you have to take?
So there is certain classes that we have to take. We have a class each semester where we learn a certain curriculum based on the Army standards. So that learning aspect's pretty similar, but you also...
What are the Army standards? Sorry to interrupt.
So there's an acronym, like LD, leadership, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Those are the 7 Army values, and that's what we live by. That's how I can answer that.
Oh, yeah, very good. You did.
So for us, we have like certain history classes that we have to take, as well as the additional ROTC specific classes. Aside from that, more or less, I think we are all learning similar things, because we're all on more or less the same track as far as what we all have to learn to become commissioned officers in the Army once you graduate.
So yeah, with ROTC, no matter what school you go to, whether it be a school like mine or a state or private institution that has ROTC, it's just an additional class and additional training on top of your regular college experience. So we just have to take, as stated, that specific history classes and then the military science classes every single semester. And we just kind of tack that on. And through that, it's learning the basic soldiering skills, the selfless service, and the other Army values. It's not too much, but it's the training we get.
Well, our values are honor, courage, commitment, and
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are your dreams after school? What is the plan?
So I hope to go into, I hope to graduate and go active duty and go into Corps of Engineers. But if track works out, I'd like to go National Guard or Reserves and then pursue my track career further.
Wonderful.
I'd like to apply for the JAG School, which is the military law school in Charlottesville, Virginia. So it's right at home, right next door to University of Virginia. So if that doesn't work out, probably something similar to the Corps of Engineers or military intelligence.
So I'm currently figuring that out for the most part. Last month I was branched Medical Service Corps, so I'm going to be doing something with medical services within the Army, and we don't know specifically what yet. I'm going to find out a little bit more in like February or March, they were saying, where I'm going to be going, and it's going to be some various Army base somewhere within the United States or over in Europe somewhere. And all I really know is next year I'm going to be gone down to Texas for 4 months to get trained up on what I need to know.
Oh, Texas. I want to go there so badly.
so I'm hoping to get out in 2 years and then come back out here and go to college, use my GI Bill, and then end up going for electrical engineering.
Okay, so I hear that you still want to stay with the Army one way or another. That is a commitment that you have made to yourselves.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. One last question. What do you feel is the meaning of service, or why do you want to serve?
Well, I want to serve because it's being a part of something greater than you. It's selfless service. You're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for everyone else and your country.
Very similar to that. Also just the potential for unique life experience and that sort of thing that you can put on a job application that is really special and really unrivaled. And it really all comes back to giving back to the country that's given so much to us. That's really what it's all about. But there's also a bunch of personal benefits as well. Just that life experience. There's less than 1% of people in this country that are in the military. So that's a pretty significant number to be a part of something like that.
We had talked earlier about the ethics training and values that we had instilled in us. And my freshman year, we are required to learn a lot of those word for word. And one of the quotes is, "The true measure of success is service rendered to a country and to mankind." And I think that's what service ties into. You're there doing it for country and for mankind, and it's really rewarding seeing what you can do for others and those around you.
I joined because I wanted to do something different, get a different life skills, and then have something that I can break off into like the civilian world.
Wonderful. And you got to travel.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your uniform. Could you explain that uniform?
Yes, so I do Army ROTC like the two next to me. But because my school's a little bit different, we have the Corps Cadets, and it's a paramilitary organization in which we have all branches thrown together, as well as some people that have decided to pursue civilian careers but want a military experience. So we wear a common uniform. This is the Norwich University Corps Cadets uniform, and that way we're all uniform and we can act as one no matter what branch we're going into or if we are pursuing something in the civilian sector.
Wonderful. Two of you have scholarships to college, right?
3.
Three
I think
of
all three
you?
of us do.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he'll have the GI Bill as well, right?
Wonderful. What GPA do you need to maintain your scholarship?
I think you need
So it's a
to.
3.0.
It's a 3.0 in ROTC and a
2.5.
2.5 elsewhere, but you'll see very, very few cadets that actually have GPAs like that. The average cadet GPA nationwide is like a 3.5, or sorry, 3.35.
Wow. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I've learned a lot, and thank you for your service. Wonderful, wonderful young gentlemen, and I think you're going to inspire other people out there, young such as yourself, to join, because you are embracing characteristics that are very rare.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To my viewers, thank you for joining us. We were speaking to the Wareham ROTC cadets. I had Bradley, Tyler, Corey, and Joel. I am your host, Queen Banda, and until next time, I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye.